Hey people, once again I would like to tell you about a very specific and important musical concept today. I want to explain it as clearly, as precisely and as short as possible. And today's topic is the so-called anticipated one. In Germany, the expression for it means kind of the one is pulled forward. And that's exactly what it is. I want to tell you what exactly this concept means, why it is so important for us musicians, why it is important to know, and how we can differentiate it from different ideas and different concepts. Why do we need a special expression for this? So, as I said, the one is pulled forward. So we don't play the beginning of a phrase, of a melody, of a riff on the first beat of a bar, of a measure, the so-called downbeat, but on the last of the bar before that. Usually we do that in the context of eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and becomes the new one. Why do we need a new one and what happens with the old one? Well, the old one is not being played at all usually. Because if we pull the one forward, well, we don't have one anymore. And this gives the rhythm usually a very interesting feeling, a lot more drive because it gives this feeling of impatience. I'm too impatient, I can't wait for the one, we have to have it now. I think the best example, the clearest example is the song Enter Sandman by Metallica. You have this da 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 da. And always this da 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 da, this is the four and or the anticipated one. And you can hear that after that the one is not being played. Let me demonstrate very clearly on the drum set without anything else. I will play 4 bars of normal time, so to speak. I will play the crash cymbal on each one, and then for 4 bars after that I will play the anticipated one. And you will notice that I won't be playing the hi-hat on the one. Otherwise it wouldn't be the anticipated one if I were to play the one instead, or still the one with something on the drum set. But we really need to move the one forward. Sometimes what many drummers do, sometimes out of technical convenience, but also feeling-wise, is to leave out the hi-hat on the 4, on the last backbeat, just to give the anticipated one even more emphasis. So if you play less before, whatever you play after that becomes more meaning, you have a higher contrast. You will see me doing that as well. And now a little bit faster. Some of you might now say, that's just a syncopated rhythm. Well, in essence that is true. A syncopated rhythm means that there are accented strokes that fall on beats in the measure that we don't expect, that give us a kind of hiccup or tripping feel. But in this case, it has a very relevant function, and that's the important point. The one has a function. The start of a phrase very often. It is the beginning of a measure. But now it has still the function of beginning the measure, of beginning a phrase, but it is played on a different place within the bar. And in a syncopated rhythm, you don't have this function. And as I said, the one is not being played, the old one, so to speak, because there's a very common mistake, and I want to help you avoid this. It's very, very common on the guitar, but it's very common on all the instruments, but I hear it a lot with guitar players, and that's you play this anticipated one very intuitively. It's just a very, very intuitive thing to play, but some people don't count. And this is why they move the whole rhythm a bit, they pull the rhythm forward a little bit, because they don't leave out the one. They keep on playing and they don't leave the space where the one was. And it's very important to leave that space. Let me demonstrate. I will just play a few different grooves, and then after a few bars I will now and then play this anticipated one on the crash cymbal, but I will not leave the one free. I will just keep playing and pull everything forward. So we'll play a few bars of 7/8 now and then, and you will notice that you can't keep up counting. The rhythm shifts, and this is what we want to avoid. Just another example of the importance of counting. I would advise you to have metronome going, then count to the metronome, and then play to your counting, not the other way around, because if you count like you play, you always win. You are always on the right track. But if you're very honest and you keep on counting no matter what you play, you will always notice when you come up short or when you play a phrase too long. You have a reliable measurement by counting. Very important. So I hope I could make this concept of the anticipated one clear to you. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments. If you know more songs where you can hear this very clearly, please write them in the comments also, so we can all train our ears a little bit and get a better grasp of this concept. And if you have more musical expressions or phrases you have not yet understood, you have not found a tutorial that explains it very well, please write it in the comments as well. Maybe I can help. Hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.